Whoops a daisy. Yeah, right. Time for another show. Great to be back here with all my YouTube friends. I'll play you a little song now. And don't forget, you can always join in with all of this kind of stuff. I've taught you a lot of this kind of stuff, so always feel free. I'm going to be doing some hellos soon, but as usual, I'm going to start with a song. Have no record of brighter days. Your light is on me. I can see. I have no parts. I have no lines. But I have you. And you have me, honey. Water's wet and light is light. Got upset and now I'm doing fine. When I come home, when I come down, I have you and you have me, honey. Summer breaks, winter storms. I don't mind getting on as we go on living. Glad to be. Well, I'll have you and you'll have me, honey. Welcome everybody, great to be back with you all. I think there are a few people here tonight, so I'm not just talking to myself as usual on some of these little broadcasts that I do when I'm out and about on my walks, letting everybody know that there'll be a Joe show coming up. So I'm glad to find that some of you have joined me for tonight, and that's fantastic. It's great to have you all here. So we've got Bristol Bloom, we've got Julie Banjo, we've got Mums here as well, we've got Mark McConnell, Bob Hardy, I think we've got Terry Cook, we've got Leo, we've got Gary Curtis, David Price, Karina, I think we've got Julie Ferrari as well. Karina, you're on your way to a concert? Okay, well then I hope that you have a fantastic time, Karina, and maybe you can come back and watch this at a later date. So it's great to have all you here with me to have a little bit of company tonight. I'm going to be touching on quite a few things tonight, so make sure you got your guitars ready because we're going to have quite a kind of interactive evening tonight. I'm going to be kind of asking you to join in a little bit tonight, and we're going to be doing some play-alongs, but unlike previous weeks, where we've announced what the play-alongs are going to wear in the past. Tonight I'm just going to be throwing you some curveballs to see how you deal with it when I just say, right, we're going to play this, or right, we're going to play that. And I'm going to be very interested to see how you do, going along those lines. So I'm hoping that you'll have a go, because as you know, I'm a great proponent of having a go. That's what it's all about. If you can do that, then you're going in the right direction. And don't worry about mistakes. You don't have to worry about anything here on the Joe Show. It's just all about taking part and being a part of the show. So, as my mum likes John Lennon, I thought I'd take a look at a John Lennon one, which I haven't done in absolutely ages. And this is from my mum, all right? So don't be asking me for more songs lately, mum, all right? Later on, because this is especially for you, all right? And so I haven't played a lot of these songs that I'm playing tonight for a long kind of time. And so, again, this comes back to what I was saying to you about throwing yourself in a little bit at the deep end. It's never a bad idea. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. It's another skill which you need to develop, which is, if you make a mistake, trying to play through a mistake. Like I've often said to you, hey, PG, great to see you, and welcome on board to Patreon, great to have you there as well. So it's about playing your way through some of these mistakes, if you make any, all right? And rather than just stopping dead like a rabbit in headlights and thinking, oh my goodness, because obviously that's very noticeable if you do that. And very often, if you just carry on playing and stuff like that, then you won't really need to kind of worry too much about that. All right, so here we go. We've got lots to cover tonight, all right? And so I'm going to play you a couple of songs and things like that. But like I say, it's going to be interactive, so have your guitars ready, because we're going to be looking at some lead guitar ideas tonight. And I'll probably break it up with playing a few songs in between. And of course, I'm hoping that you'll join me as well on some of those type of things, all right? So this is dedicated to my mum, and it's a John Lennon song, and it goes like this. Nobody loves you when you're down and out. Nobody sees you when you're on cloud nine. Everybody's hustling for a buck and a dime. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. Been across to the other side. I've shown you everything, I got nothing to hide. And still you ask me, do I love you? What it is, what it is. All I can tell you is, it's all showbiz. All I can tell you is, it's all showbiz. Nobody loves you when you're down and out. Nobody knows you when you're on cloud nine. Everybody's hustling for a buck and a dime. I'll scratch your back and you knife mine. I've been across the water to the other side. Seen the one-eyed witch doctor leading the blind. And still you ask me, do I love you? What you say, what you say. All I can tell you is, it's all showbiz. Every time I put my finger on it, it slips away. Get up in the morning and I'm looking in the mirror to see. Then I'm lying in the darkness and I know I can't get to sleep. Nobody loves you when you're old and grey. Nobody needs you when you're upside down. Everybody's hovering about their own birthday. Everybody loves you when you're 6 feet in the ground. And there you have it, a little bit of John Lennon. Okay, so I hope you like that one, woman. It's not too depressing for you, but I really like that John Lennon song, and he does a lot of kind of reflective songs, melodic songs like that. And I'm a real sucker for a melodic song, as you're probably aware now. I've kind of heard me play these kind of songs so many times and things like that. Okay, so tonight what we're going to do with the kind of technical advice that I give you and things like that is to break it up in between songs to give you a little bit of something to think about, okay? Rather than just throw it all at you at once, because I think that sometimes that can be quite a challenge to do things that way. So what I want to talk to you today about, or tonight about, is soloing and lead guitar and things like that. Now, I always think that it's a good idea to actually learn some rhythm guitar as a first kind of step. So if you're just starting out on guitar and things like that. Hey, J Mac and Michael Burke, can't be a bit of John Lennon. We got a lot of people not heard that one for ages. Well, I'm glad. Okay, Wesley, great to see you, Wes. Got my Lennon New York shirt on. That's great, J Mac. Fantastic. Okay, so back on track. And so chord playing is probably the first step that you need to take. And I know that many of you here are already like quite a way down the road, but I always try and start at the first steps for those of people who might have turned up who are just starting out on their guitar journey and things like that. Now, irrespective of where you are, okay, it's a good idea to start your journey in a kind of rhythm sense, in a chord based way, okay? Just so you can get a feel for kind of transitioning between chords and things like that, because you can get some results very quickly if you do things like that. It enables you to play songs relatively quickly, say, as opposed to lead, whereby, you know, you can't really play a song, you know, just by going, you know, just, you know, it doesn't work like that. So it's always a kind of great step really to, you know, because you can just learn like 3 chords, you know, and pretty soon you've got a song on your hands, right? So that's why that makes a little bit of sense. Now, that's not to say that you don't kind of play a little bit of lead early on in your playing career, okay? Because I think many people that I've come across have made the mistake of thinking, oh, you know, that's not for me, that's for very advanced people and things of that nature. And I think that that's a big mistake, and you don't want to fall into that trap if you can help it. So get a little bit of chordal work behind you so you can knock out a few tunes, you know, even if it's like half a dozen tunes. And so you could be fairly early on in your playing career, right? But try and incorporate a little bit of melodic playing, all right? Or lead playing or soloing or whatever you want to call it. It's all one and the same thing, all right? And you don't have to be fantastic or anything like that. It's surprising how little knowledge you need to be able to do some of this kind of stuff. Now, I've talked to you in the past many times, and in fact I've done quite a number of videos on learning the notes, you know, across the strings, and even if it's just on the top string, you're doing yourself an absolutely huge favor, all right? It's very, very important, and if you don't do these type of things, they're going to seriously inhibit your playing when you kind of a little bit further down the road and things like that. So please don't overlook that. It's a very, very important thing. So one of the things that playing in a chordal sense will do for you is give you a good feel for what timing is about and how to develop good timing. Because if you don't have any good timing skills, then everything that you play is just going to sound a little bit off. So it's a very, very important thing. So that's something that you want to get down. Now, when we start talking about playing lead, okay, we need to think about a few different things. So, first of all, what the chords are, all right, in a song. That's a very, very important kind of bit of information. So we need these little bits of information before we can start down this road of playing some solos and things like that. So if we know the chords, that's a tremendous help, okay? So for example, if we're playing something which is, let's say we're playing like a G, a D, and an A minor, right? Well, the first thing that we can kind of do in a sense is play the chords, right? That's obviously the first thing, like I've pointed out. And even in a lead sense and a melodic sense, that can be one of the first things we can do. So we can look to play, say, a G somewhere else. So as you know, this D shape can move. So it's an E, an F, and a G. So that's like a G. So you can play your G there, up here, right? And then a D, you can kind of play in several different places. So you got this G, an A minor. So already you've played those chords in a different place. So what that means is if you're playing with somebody else, rather than you both playing exactly the same positions, like this. Now, if two guitar players are playing that, it's a bit boring if we're being perfectly honest with ourselves, right? It's doable, right? And it's a fair step, as it were, right? So you can both be playing the same things, but it's far, far better for you to kind of, you know, play something a little bit different. So if he's playing a G here, you can play a G here. If he's playing a D here, you can play a D up here. If he's playing an A minor here, you can play an A minor here. And already that's going to sound very different, okay? So that's something that you can kind of do as a first step to kind of take you to a different part of the guitar. It's a good little kind of thing to kind of think about things in a different way. And this is important and it will really serve you much further down the road. I've spoken to you about caged before, and that's where we play chords, the same chords, like right the way up the fingerboard, playing in different positions. And if you want to be a good lead guitar player or a solo player, then it really is going to pay you to have some understanding about playing chords in different positions. Because, say for example, like we're playing this here, the G, the D, and the A minor. Well, we can make it a little bit more melodic by, you know, just playing some single note stuff. Okay, so we're playing like little hammer-ons, like playing single notes. So rather than just strumming, we're playing. So that is the beginnings of lead guitar, okay? This is something which is kind of, you know, your first steps. If you haven't done this before, you can just pick some notes out of the kind of, you know, chords that you're playing, all right? So what we're going to do, like I say, is rather than me talking about this for like, say, 20 minutes all in one shot, I'd like to just give you a little bit of breathing space to digest some of these ideas in between what we're doing, okay? And then I'm going to come back and we're going to carry on where we left off from there. Now, with regards to play-alongs tonight, okay, I want to have another look at Wild Thing, all right? We did this last time, all right? So this is your first curveball. I want you to get your guitars ready and you kind of let me know when you're ready if it's easier for you to do that. Good to see you, Richard Brower. Thank you for joining us, all right? Plays Old Man, Neil Young, all right. So it's good to have any new listeners along with all our regulars. It's always great to have some more people join the show, so that's great if anybody's out there who hasn't been before. Great to see you, Mark, all right. Neil Young, yeah. We'll take a look at some Neil Young, but I want you to all get your guitars, all right, because we're just going to have a quick look at Wild Thing, all right. We did this last week and I think that Leo's ready, and that's a great thing. All right, now I threw you a curveball last week because the chords for Wild Thing, for anybody who's looking to join us, all right, are just E, A and B. Now, just going back to what I was saying to you about different chord inversions, of course you could play them like I did last time we had the Joe show. Alright, so you can play them in different positions. And so if you're kind of comfortable just playing them in the same kind of positions and stuff, give yourself a challenge. Now is the time to do it. Try and play them in different positions, all right? Give yourself something. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You've given it a go, and that's what it's all about. That's the main thing, all right? Slow Pursuit, thank you for... it's great to have you on with us here tonight, Slow Pursuit. And I'm glad that you're enjoying the work, and I'm hoping that you're going to join in. Stuart Rushton, wonderful to see you, Stu. All right, are we all ready? It's too bad if you're not, because I'm going to count us in. And for those of you who don't play, I would like to hear you singing your hearts out. And that includes you, Mum, and Julie, and everybody else out there who's not kind of playing an instrument with us tonight, okay? So we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow thing, you make everything groovy. Wow thing, you make everything. Wow thing, I think I love you. But I wanna know for sure. Why don't you come and suck it to me, baby? I think I love you. Wow thing, make my heart sing. Wow thing, you make everything groovy. Wow thing, I think I love you. But I wanna know for sure. Why don't you come and suck it to me, baby? I think I love you. Alright, so I'm hoping some of you are going to have a little go at a solo here. Go for it. We'll be your backing guitarists. Wow thing, come on, I want to hear you soloing now. You make everything. Wow thing, my heart sings. Wow thing, I think I love you. But I wanna know for sure. Someone gonna come and suck it to me, baby. I think I love you. Done, folks. Everything went quiet then. That's always a good sign. When everything goes quiet, it means everybody's busy concentrating, and that's what I like to see. Everybody having a go, which is great. Okay, Well done, everybody. So coming back to our soloing talk now. So there are a few things we need, like when we're talking about playing melodic guitar and stuff like that, okay? And that is kind of the chords, like I've said to you, because without the chords we wouldn't have a clue what we were doing, right? And then it's obviously going to be very, very helpful to know what key we're in, all right? So once you know the chords, then the next step is to know the key. And then after that, you're kind of looking to ascertain what kind of mood or, genre the music is in as well. Because that's going to play a really huge part in what we actually play over the top of it, right? So if it's like a kind of very kind of upbeat rocky thing, that will determine what you do. And it conversely, if it's a very like laid back ballad, then that's obviously going to have an impact as well. So all of these things will really, really influence exactly what it is that we play. So like I've said to you, the first step is to know the chords, because then you can play either the same chords as what the other, let's say, other guitarist is playing, right? Or we play the inversions. So this is where we're up to, right? And then we start thinking about the key. Now in this instance, it's kind of G, all right? And the way to think about keys and stuff like that is that you need to start developing a little bit of theoretical knowledge. Now that needn't be anything scary or anything like that, okay? It's just about doing a little bit on a fairly regular basis, and then it starts sinking in. None of this stuff is too difficult for you to understand, all right? It's very, very simple once you dedicate yourself to just doing a little bit on a regular basis, as I say. And trying to find out what chords belong to what key and how to find out what kind of key a song is in become easier as time goes by. Now, one little thing that you can do, which is generally going to be the way to find out what key a song is in, is the starting chord is generally 9 times out of 10 what key it is. So if it starts in this instance, all right, it starts in this kind of G, it's going to be in the key of G more often than not. Now, if that isn't the case, it can be the ending chord. But either way, you're at a really kind of advantage nowadays, because like when I was started learning the guitar around about 40 years back, there was just really nothing. Obviously, internet didn't exist, and there was nobody on TV showing you what to do or any of that kind of stuff. So consequently, a lot of people of my generation who started learning guitar when I did a lot of things by ear, and that stands you in very good stead further down the road, and probably something that's missing a lot in today's kind of players and people who learn nowadays. It's very rare that they subject themselves to kind of learning things by ear. And each little way of learning has its own benefits, okay? So we don't want to get too wrapped up in that. But essentially now, if you're not sure about, how, what key a song is in, you've got Google, and it kind of pretty much tells you everything these days. So there's not a lot that you have to kind of figure out for yourself, and you can always find these things out should you really wish to do so. So once you got the chords down and you got the key down, you're getting in a stronger and stronger position, and then you start to think about, well, this is a very kind of ballady kind of song, so that is going to give me some kind of feedback as to what I might play over the top of it, okay? So, like I've said to you, we're looking at chords and how we can play them in different positions, all right? All the way up the fingerboard. It's not a difficult thing. It's not as difficult as you might imagine. And then the scales, are going to come into it. So once we've got those kind of 3 things out the way, the chords, the key, and the genre and the mood of the music, then we're looking at, like I say, the different positions of the chords and playing something that works. So if you know the chords, then you're going to be doing that, right? You're going to be sticking to something which is relevant to what you're kind of listening to. And it will also give you yes, I do indeed, Michael, remember Rock School. What a fantastic program that was. I used to look forward to that quite regularly. Now, also, what comes into things in a really big way is obviously scales, all right? So that's going to play a huge part. Once you kind of like I say, don't overlook chords, all right, because there's a lot that can be done with them. As I've said to you, you can just play the actual chords and so you can do a lot with chords, right, without even thinking about scales. And that is very important to realise. It doesn't matter where you play them. If you play them, even if you play them here, you can play. So if somebody's playing rhythm and you're playing those single notes, all that kind of stuff works. So that's very much like a first step, yeah? Now, obviously once you want to progress from that, that's when you start looking at scales, right? And it's important to realise that everything is based on a major scale. So the major scale is probably the most important scale. Now, it's not to say it's the most used scale. It's just to say it's the most important scale because everything is based from that scale. The pentatonics, the major, obviously, you know, is the major. The minor scales, all the scales are based off that major scale. So that's why that is important. Now, the most used scale is probably the pentatonic scale, and this is something that we've spoken about on many of the Joe shows, and I'm hoping that you're starting to get a bit of an understanding about this. I've done a lot of videos on this, and we're running a continuing series over on Patreon. I'm going to be updating that with a new lesson over the coming weeks, okay? So we continue on this journey so you get a better and a better understanding of how to kind of use these scales, how to understand them better, and all these other types of things, okay? So it's time for another song now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about all of this kind of lead guitar stuff, okay? So I think what we're going to do now is, let me see, I'm going to play a little song for you. Let's have a little look. See what I've got here. Bear with me a little moment. I like to slow pursuit blind and miss the chords for Wild Thing. Worked them out now, worked them out. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Out knocking from your noodling. Hey. Okay, yeah, well, you're a new listener, Slow, so, you know, it's kind of, you'll get the hang of things here as well, all right? So don't worry too much as the weeks roll by. Hopefully you'll join us again for some of these shows. Okay, so time for another song. Girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun won't ever shine. I will shiver the whole night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. In the pines, where the sun won't ever shine. I will shiver the whole night through. Her husband was a hard-working man, just about a mile from here. His head was found in the driving wheel, but his body was never been found. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun won't ever shine. I will shiver the whole night through. girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I will shiver the whole night through. One more time, everybody. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I will shiver the whole night through. And there you have an old Leadbelly song, beautiful song, called In the Pines. Where Did You Sleep Last Night? It was also a song that Nirvana covered on their Unplugged album and did quite a decent job of it. And just as a side note, I think Kurt Cobain tried to get his hands on Leadbelly's guitar. I think he offered a lot of money for it. Don't think he ever ended up with it somehow. But it's a nice song, nice one to learn, okay? So, back to our little chat upon the lead guitar, okay? So hopefully you're with everything so far, okay? Now we're up to the section whereby we're talking about scales, and we've talked about the major scale being the most important scale, simply because everything is based off of that. And the pentatonic being the most used scale, perhaps, okay? And I'm hoping that this is something that you are beginning to get a handle on, all right? Now, this is a section of the show where I'd like to give you an opportunity to experiment. And we often do this, okay? We've done this in the past where we've used this idea, you know, where we play. Okay? We've looked at various different ideas on soloing, but I just want you to have a better understanding as to what it is that's kind of happening when we're doing this, okay? That's really kind of important. So what we're going to take a quick look at here, all right, is it's going to be the song is called Knocking on Heaven's Door, and of course that's something that we've already looked at in the past. And so the song starts in G, goes to a D, goes to an A minor, okay, and then it goes back to a G, goes to a D, and goes to a C. And it just goes round and round and round, repeating that, all right? So how do we know what scale to play with this, right? Okay, well, G major is the starting chord, right? So let's just see, right, if G major works, all right? So G major pentatonic, that is, okay, as opposed to a G major scale. Now, both would work, okay? But I would just like, given that you're kind of probably more, you've probably got a better understanding of the pentatonic than you have of the major scales, perhaps. Fulvio, great to have you on board, great to see you. So with this kind of chords here, we're in the key of G, okay? We've got this chords as I've just explained. And it's major, all right? So it's not G minor, like so, it's G major. All right, and there's a difference, okay? So if it was G minor, then we'd be playing the pentatonic on the 3rd fret to the 6th, 3, and then 3 5, 3 5, 3 5, 3 6, 3 6. Okay, so that was what we would do if it was minor, but it's not minor. So how do we figure out the major pentatonic? This is something that I've told you before, but I'm going to tell you again. We just count down 3 frets from the minor pentatonic. So it's not G minor like we said, so we count down 3 from the G. 1, 2, oh, there's nowhere left to go. So that must mean it's an open E. So that means if we play the E position, right, so we've gone back 3 frets, that would mean now the pentatonic has shifted down 3 frets, so we would have. Alright, so let me talk you through that, okay, because in case it's difficult for you to see. We've got an open top string, then we're fretting the 3rd fret top string. And then we're playing an open string and the 2nd fret. Same again on the 4th string, open, 2nd fret. Same again on the 3rd, open, 2nd fret. And on the bottom 2 strings it's open and the 3rd fret. Alright, so we've got that is position 1, G major pentatonic. Alright, and because we're in the key of G major, that is the scale that we're going to use. Alright, now we could use a G major scale, just a standard G major scale, like I've pointed out to you. But you see, the beauty of the pentatonic scale is that it's kind of hard to make mistakes with it. Alright, so if we were just using the G major scale, it's easier to kind of hit notes which don't exactly foot the bill. Alright, now that's not to say that every note that we play in this G major pentatonic is going to sound like heaven. Alright, it just means that they're going to work and they're not going to sound too bad. But you see, some will sound better than others. And again, this is something that I've mentioned to you in the past, okay? So if you want to always play it safe, then hitting the G's is always going to be working because, you know, that's the key we're in, right? But it could be that when we go to the, let's say the A minor, then the A may be the note to hit. And these are the things that, you know, can't really be taught in a sense. It's about, this is when it comes down to experience. And this is what you get just through playing, right? Doing what we're doing now, all right? And so remember this position 1 of the G major pentatonic. One more time. 0, 3rd fret, 0, 2nd fret, 0, 2nd fret, 0, 2nd fret, 0, 3rd fret, 0, 3rd fret. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be your rhythm guitarist, and I would really, really like to hear you all exploring some of these ideas. They can be extremely simple, like they can be absolutely anything, all right? Or they can be more complex. I want you to just start accustoming your ears to hear what sounds great, what sounds average, what doesn't really sound too great. And like I say, with the pentatonic, the beauty is that you're not going to hit anything that sounds really dreadful, okay? Everything's going to sound fairly okay, but some will sound better than others. So, as your rhythm guitarist, I'm going to start after 4. And I would really looking forward to hearing you all have a little bit of fun now, playing along with me, all right? Now, you can play over me. I'm going to sing a little bit. I'm going to play a little bit. But most of all, I want you to be kind of noodling around, you know? You can, if you feel adventurous and you're a little bit more advanced, go to position 2, right? And you can start, you know, linking up position 1 with position 2. So whatever your kind of level you're at, try and use it to the best of your ability. Here goes 2, 3, 4, and okay, Julie and Mum and everybody else who's not a player tonight, please sing along with me. I won't feel so alone then. Right, we go. Take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door. I'm loving that, folks. Great stuff. knocking on heaven's door. Alright, you have a little solo, right? Fantastic. Absolutely marvellous stuff. That's really, really good. Alright, time for a little bit of vocal. Have a little bit of a rest. Mama, put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. Getting dark. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. 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 Right, away you go then, folks. Let's hear it. Thank you, Mum. Great to hear you singing. Wonderful stuff, folks. Keep it up. Great. Really good. Keep it going. See if you can maintain the interest. Keep it interesting. Just remember, you don't need to play hundreds of notes. Just play a few. Hey Per, great to see you. Alright, we got a knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door. Fantastic, folks. Really great to hear you have a bash at some of that kind of stuff, right? Really, really good. Well done. Congratulations for having a go. Really makes all the difference when you can just let your hair down, not worry about any of this kind of stuff, but just have a go and take part. That's what this show is all about, really. I just want to give people the confidence to try and have a go. That's all. Doesn't matter what you sound like. If you make mistakes, if it all works out, that's just all part of playing, all right? And it's just a great little opportunity for you to do that kind of stuff. Glad you enjoyed that, Wes. Thomas, great to have you on board. Thank you for joining us tonight. Wonderful stuff. Willem, great to see you too. Hey, J-Mac, great to have you. And Richard Brower as well. Right, I'm just going to put a little bit of light on here. We're getting a little bit dark. And I've got a little bit of something for Julie tonight. I've been kind of hoping to kind of play tonight for Julie. I know that she likes this song a little bit. So let's see what we can do for her. All right. Let's see what we got here now. I think she's going to like this. I know what she likes, and I think she's going to like this. All right. All right. Yeah. Let's see what we got here now. fix my woman so she can have no other man. Cold ground was my bed last night, rocks was my pillow too. Cold ground was my bed last night, rocks was my pillow too. I woke up this morning, I'm wondering what in the world I'm gonna do. I lay down thinking, buy me a mojo hand. I lay down thinking, buy me a mojo hand. I wanna fix my woman so she can have no other man. Now can a woman act funny when she got another man? Can a woman act funny when she got another man? You know she won't look straight at you, and she's always raising his hand. There you have it, Julie, especially for you. I know you like a little bit of the old. I know you like a little bit of that, Jill. So I thought I'd play that one for you tonight. So I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, a little bit of the old. Hey, Chris, great to see you tonight. Okay, and we got Werner, mate. Hey, Joe, I really like the way you show us how it's done without too much drama. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, Werner. It's wonderful to have you on board as well. Okay, so with this kind of Lightning Hopkins feel, a lot of people kind of, it resonates with a lot of people, this kind of bluesy thing, right? And it takes a little bit of practice to kind of get it flowing quickly like that, okay? Because there's a lot going on. I've said this before, that it's quite deceptive, Lightning Hopkins material, because at first thing you listen to it and you think, oh, you know what, this is relatively straightforward. It's not until you actually start playing it that you think, whoa, well, hang on a minute. It's because, you know, you got this. And what wants to happen is it wants to ring out. So I've talked about it before. It's about being in control of the guitar and the guitar not being in control of you. I think that's very, very important. Now, whilst we're on this blues kind of flavour, I'm going to play you another blues, which is my most recent lesson over on Patreon. And it's by somebody I haven't covered before, called Skip James. So for anybody who likes a little bit of blues, this is a beautiful song in my estimation. Okay, now I don't know what your feelings are with a lot of this kind of stuff, but I think Skip James was one of those kind of artists who kind of his delivery was very, very different to anybody else, you know. And he had a very, very unusual voice and things like that. Yeah, as Katie's saying there, spooky blues, you know. He had a very different kind of delivery. He's had a very, very high voice, very, very falsetto kind of voice. And a great player, very different. And he used very different tunings, which is why I've just swapped guitars, so I'm not messing around tuning things and stuff like that. Okay, so let me play you a little bit of Skip James. And before I do that, I'm going to check the tuning, because this is notoriously unusual, well, it's kind of unusual tuning. It's a cross note tuning, effectively. So it's kind of like a D minor tuning. All right, for anybody who's interested, called cross note. And it's like a D minor tuning, all right? So yeah, you did indeed. Well done, Wes. You're telling everybody a little bit of, you're saving me the job of doing it. You've been enjoying this tuning. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying this one, Katie. Yeah. Hey, Scott. Wonderful to see you, buddy. So we've got... I would rather be buried in some cypress grove. I would rather be buried in some cypress grove than to have a woman that I can control. Well, I'm going away now, and I'm going away to stay. Yeah, I'm going away now, and I'm going away to stay. Be alright, pretty mama, you're gonna need my help someday. And the sun's going down, and you know what you promised me. Yeah, the sun's going down, and you know what you promised me. That's alright, pretty baby, baby, I can see. I would rather be dead and 6 feet in my grave. I would rather be dead and 6 feet in my grave than to be up here, honey, treated this away. And the old people told me, but baby, I never did know. Yeah, the old people told me, but baby, I never did know. Yeah, they're good, but declare you gotta reap just what you sow. When your knee bones ache and your body is so cold. When your knee bone ache and your body is so cold, you're just getting ready for some cypress grove. Whoa, hey, there you have it, folks. A little bit of Skip James, Cypress Grove Blues. And it is a personal favourite. And I think it's, a great one for you to take a look at perhaps sometime, all right? So, back now to where we left off. So, I hope you enjoyed that one. And just remember that I'm glad that you enjoyed that, Katie, Jeff, and everybody else, yeah? Everyone look forward to watching this show after work. Carl, I hope that you enjoy it as well. All right, so it's time for another play along, folks. Get your guitars ready now, and I'm going to be playing a song for you. All right, and it's by U2. And the second play along for tonight is With or Without You. All right, so for anybody who's interested, and I'm hoping that you're all interested. All right, let me tell you what the chords are for this one. We just got a D, an A, a B minor, and a G, I think it is. All right, so let me kind of run that one past you. Okay, don't know if I've missed it with being a bit late, but just a little reminder you asked for about. Yes, Chris, I must. Before I do that, okay. So with muted chords, Chris, I did kind of forget about that. With the muted chords thing, I tend to do a lot of muting. So Chris asked me a question a little while back about muting chords, and if you want to flesh that out a little bit, Chris, do so now so I can answer it for you. In the kind of way that you envisage it being answered. But just briefly speaking, when you're talking about dampening chords and things like that, a lot of it is done with the kind of right hand. So now it gets very difficult if you kind of going down all the way. Okay, so it's easier at the top. So that's a kind of one way of dampening chords, all right, just by laying, as you're probably aware, and I think that a few people touched on this over on the Facebook group page, right, that we lay our palm flat on the strings towards the bridge, and then we can we can dampen chords like that, and we can kind of make them, a little bit dampened. And if we want to do single note stuff, the same thing applies. But the other way is stopping it kind of ringing out, okay? Because as you've just pointed out there, Chris, it is a combination of a couple of things sometimes. So, muting and dampening are kind of one and the same type of thing, right? It's just about stopping the chord from ringing out, generally speaking. But say we're playing like a blues, all right, in the key of E. A typical example of this would be, we're going up, we're going down, we're going up, down, down, up, anyway you wanna let it roll. So that's ringing out, yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, it's no dampening or muting. You got me doing what you want me, baby, what do you want me to do? We're gonna peep. Alright, so this kind of thing is just ringing out. Alright, there's no damping, there's no muting going on, right? So what we can do there is, with the left hand, the way we'd be doing that is by going, we're going up, we're going down, we're going up, down, down, up, any way you wanna let it roll. Bit cooler, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're doing kind of single note damping, and then the chord, you got me doing what you want me, baby, what do you want me to do? So we're kind of dampening a lot of different things there, okay? And it's largely with the right hand. Now, we can also do it with the left hand. And the way that we do it with the left hand, Chris, is just by kind of taking, it's press, release, press, release, press, release. So think of that when you're doing it, Chris, all right? When you're doing this, now this is no left hand happening here now, right? There's none of this on the bridge, but listen to the chords, and this is just press, release. So all I'm doing there, Chris, is just press, release, press, release, press, release, press, release. And it's very, very important for you to dedicate some of your time trying to do left-hand dampening, because it's something that's very much overlooked. So I hope that that's touched on some of the things that you were hoping for me to touch on, Chris. I can only devote a certain amount of time to doing that. If you kind of let me know if that kind of helps in some way. And we'll come back, and it may be well worth doing a lesson just on dampening, actually, Chris, and then I can go into more detail on it, yeah? I don't know if you're already over on Patreon or not. I think you might be, but I'm not entirely sure. but that would be something that would be turning up over on Patreon. Okay, so if you're not already there, perhaps you'd like to consider going over there. It'd be great to have anybody who is interested in supporting me. You can do that over on Patreon, and the good folks here will tell you what a great deal that is. Now, what they can do that whilst I'm just getting ready for our final play along, which is With or Without You, and it's by U2, and the chords. All right, I hope it helped, Chris. I know it wasn't in any major detail. Yes, it was a little bit Wayne, of a little bit of Psycho Killer there going on. It's a great deal. Thank you, Katie, for pointing that out. Okay, so chords for this one are a D chord, an A chord, a B minor chord, and a G chord. I thought you were, Chris. Thank you for your support. It means a great deal to me, all right? So they're the chords that we're looking at, all right? D and A, B minor and G. So get yourselves ready, because I'm going to go straight into it. We haven't got a lot of time left, all right? Dampening, Chris. Thanks, J-Mac, for putting it up there. And thank you, Jeff, for letting everybody know what a great deal Patreon is. Thanks for all your support, guys. It means the world to me. See the stone set in your eye. See the thorn twist in your side. I'll wait for you. Sleight of hand and twist of fate. On a bed of nails, she makes me wait. And I wait without you. With or without you. With or without you. You got it so far, well done. Great stuff for taking part. You're such a nice bunch of people. I'm very, very lucky to have you all. Through the storm we reach the shore. Give it all, but I want more. And I'm waiting for you. With or without you. With or without you. I can't live. With or without. Give yourself away, and you give yourself away, and you give, and you give, and you give yourself away, with or without you, with or without you. My hands are tied, my body's bruised, I break up now, it's a use, and I wait without you, with or without you, with or without you, I can't live, with or without you. All right, one more time. And you give yourself away, and you give yourself away. Hey, well played, folks. Really, really well played. Great stuff. And always good to have a play along with you. I've really missed having the play along. Now, I'm not going to be back in a fortnight's time because I've got a gig, all right? So it could be, and I haven't had many gigs this year. It should be mentioned because it's been a very, very quiet year for me playing out wise. So I'm hoping that next year things will get back to normal a little bit more. You know, that'd be great to see. But as I say, this year's been a very, very quiet one. So I've got a gig in a fortnight's time, which is great. It's kind of a posh gig. It's in a sailing club, and I used to do a lot of that kind of corporate work. I don't do so much of it now, but it's going to be nice to get out there and do one anyways. I'm really looking forward to it, but unfortunately it does mean that I won't be able to do a Joe show in a fortnight's time. Now that may mean that I do another one next week, and if I don't, then it'll be another 3 weeks like they have been lately, okay? So keep an eye out on the YouTube channel, because that's a good way of kind of keeping in touch with everything. And then that way you're going to be up to date about as to when it's happening, and I will post something to let you all know, obviously. That's what I do, okay? Well, you are very, very welcome, Chris, and I'm going to be saying a few farewells in a moment, but I'm not just going to go just yet. Alexander, greetings from Norway. Wonderful to have you here. A new face. I don't think I've come across you before. Now, I don't suppose it'd be the same if I didn't play my mum's favourite little song to finish off with, which is, you all know what it is, I dare say. By now, you should know what it is anyways. It's quite a jazzy little number. Okay, so I'm going to play this little Leon Redbone song, and then I'm going to say a few farewells, and then I'm going to play you one more song. All right, so we're in for a bonus night tonight. I'm going to be playing you played quite a few songs and stuff tonight, but this is for my mum because I know that she enjoys this little song. It goes like this. Anytime you choose, kick off your shoes, rest your weary eyes, and catch up with the news. Our favorite book will be Perfect Company, so relax. Oh, la da 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 dee. Forget about your blues, doing fine. Leave your cares and worries far. Loosen up your tie, let the world creep by. Life and all its troubles start to get you down. Laugh and put your heels up and turn yourself around. Anytime you choose, kick off your shoes, rest your weary eyes, catch up with the news. Our favorite book will be The Perfect Company, so relax. Oh, la da 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 dee. Life and all its troubles start to get you down. Laugh and put your heels up and turn yourself around. Anytime you choose, kick off your shoes, rest your weary eyes and catch up with the news. Our favorite book will be The Perfect Company, so relax. Yeah, there you have it, a little bit. Hey Nigel, long time no see, great to see you in, and thought I'd see if you're live. Miss you again after watch catch up. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you. Hey Melanie, great to see you. It's great that you've quietly and a happy weekend to all. I'm glad you could join us today, Melanie. I wasn't sure, sometimes I'm not sure who's there unless people comment. And of course, not everybody can comment because they might be watching on a device whereby there's no facility for typing and stuff like that. So I've got one kind of song that I would like to kind of maybe share with you before I go. And then I'm going to be saying a few farewells. All right, so let's see what we got. Now get your guitars. Make sure you got your guitars ready, okay? Because I want you to kind of join me if you can. It would be wonderful to have you on this one. And again, it's another kind of curveball which I've thrown at you, and it is called "Drifting Blues" by Eric Clapton. All right. So maybe you can kind of join me for this one. It would be wonderful if you could, all right? I think we're still in tune. I'm drifting, just like a ship out on the sea. I'm drifting, just like a ship out on the sea. Well, I ain't got nobody in this world to care for me. If my baby would only take me back again. Baby would only take me back again. Well, I would feel much better, and at least I'd have a friend. Right, take it away. Wonderful. Well done, Leo. Well done for having a go. Give you all my money. Tell me what more can I do? All my money. Tell me what more can I do? Well, you know you're a sweet little girl, but I swear you can't be true. I'm drifting, just like a ship out on the sea. I'm drifting, just like a ship out on the sea. Well, I ain't got nobody in this world to care for me. Yeah, okay. Be good if I had another guitar player here, because then I could actually do a little bit more soloing and stuff like that, because once you kind of drop out, then everything's all kind of empty and it all sounds a little bit funny. All right, but nevertheless, hopefully you got a flavour of what it was all about. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'd like you to type a little comment now so I can say a farewell to each and every one of you. Okay, yeah, whoever was asking about the Leon Redbone, the song is called Relaxed, and I've done a whole lesson on that. Bristol Blue, Paul, great to see you. Wes, thanks for joining us. Jeff, fantastic to have you on board. Alex Richardson, thank you for joining us, Alex. Great to have you. Jonathan Impens, hey, I didn't know you were there, Jonathan. Great to see you. And Nigel, so long, and I hope that you join us again, okay, sometime soon. Leo, of course, wonderful to have you with us, Leo. And Mark McConnell. Thanks for joining us, Mark. Fantastic. Oh, wow. I didn't realise there were so many of you tonight. So we've got Ian Stobart and David Price. That's that's great. Gary Curtis. Gary, you're always here, like regular as clockwork. Thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight. And thanks to Julie. Thanks to Mum. I don't know if I've forgotten any. I'm sure I have. Hey, Thomas Fussenegger. Great to have you with us, Thomas. Mario Muller, hey, thank you for joining us, Mario. Well, and that's the first I've heard of you. Willem, thank you, Willem. And I hope that you enjoy your new kit that you got from Focusrite. That all looks a cracking bit of kit. Katie, not to forget you. Thank you for joining us, Katie. It's wonderful to have you on board. Alan Ryan, thank you for joining us, Alan. I'm not sure I've come across you before, but it's wonderful to have you on board, and I hope that you'll come back and join us again. J Mac, I hope that you return. It's been great having your company tonight. And Scott, wonderful to see you, Scott. Slow Pursuit. Okay, great to have you, Slow, and I hope that you will join us again as well. So anybody who's it's your first time, then please come back, because it'll be wonderful to see you all. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Alex, over in Norway. Please do come back, and don't forget that there are some links below this video, and if you search for me on YouTube, you'll see links to my Facebook group page as well as my Patreon page. And anybody who'd like to support me and keep me doing these things, you can do all that by following those links. And Wes, not to forget you, Wes, great to see you. Okay, and Julie, thank you as well. So thanks to each and every one of you for taking the time out to join me tonight. It's been a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. In the meantime, you all take care, folks. Have a great weekend. Brad, not to forget you, Brad. Have a great time.